do we lose so many friends after getting a chronic illness? And why is that a good thing? Shout out to everyone out there who's had friends leave when they didn't get well soon. Let's look into that. I keep seeing all these people new to cancer, chronic illness, long COVID, all that stuff going, is it normal to be losing all my friends? Yes, it is, unfortunately. Unfortunately, it completely is. But the reason behind it, most people don't really understand. A lot of people just blame themselves for everybody leaving. Hint, hint, it's not your fault. Once again, it's not your fault. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the 3 types of friends. The 2 that will leave and the 1 that won't. Now the thing is, you'll find that most friends are actually quite supportive when you first come down with whatever illness you have for the first few months. Then the story changes and their true character comes out. Now, as I said before, there are 3 types of friends who will leave. The first type is the fake friend. Now hear me out. These friends are the first to actually disappear out of your friend groups. Now, these typically would be in the situation where you always went and did what they did. There's very little compromise. You always had to do what they wanted to do. You had to be in their crowd, you had to be a follower, and they typically were the leader. Now, a lot of us grow up in the follower type of mentality. So we almost don't even realize how much we were compromising, how much we were following until they're gone, or until we can't do what they want to do. And then suddenly we're getting calls, text messages, hey, come out tonight. Oh, well, you can't be that tired, when suddenly you never see them because you can't go do what they want to do and they're gone. That means you were a follower. And honestly, you probably enjoyed just being with those people. You probably didn't even enjoy the things you were going to do. You did while you were with them, but would you go do it by yourself? If the answer is no, you probably don't actually enjoy it all that much. You probably only enjoyed it because they enjoyed it. So this is good in the way that by getting rid of these friends, by knowing who they are and by not seeing them anymore, because frankly, they're not going to come to you. They're not going to be the ones to come to you. They're not going to visit. They're not going to meet you in the middle in almost any way. Once you're rid of these people, you start having an identity crisis, because then you have to actually figure out what you like and what makes you happy and what you want to do, along with what you're able to do. But that's a good thing, because you can figure that out. For years, I had this tough girl persona. I wore like revealing clothing and was super tough and everything. And I would go out in bars, you do all this kind of stuff that really I would never have gone and done myself. Once I wasn't able to go out and do that stuff, I realized that's not really who I am. This whole persona I had made, I realized why I would date bad guys is because I thought that's what I deserved. I don't think I deserved a really, really good guy. I didn't think I deserved, oh, they're too goody for me. You know what I mean? Even though I thought I was being cool, I also thought very low of myself because of it, because I knew it wasn't quite right on the inside. And so once those people were really gone, I was able to figure out what I do like. And for me, it's kind of childish. I like color. I like sparkles. I like dressing pretty conservatively, actually. I don't want to be the tough girl. I think I just want to be heard and appreciated is what I really want. And I don't have to be tough to get that. It really changed my entire perspective on my entire life. It ended up helping me meet a guy that I normally would have never talked to before. And this was in the middle of me being extremely sick, by the way. I found a guy that was very caring and very amazing because I knew who I was. And if I had been like I was in the past, if I had put on that fake persona and all that, we would have missed out on so much from this stupid, what I thought I should look like and what I thought would be a cool thing. And I had done that since I was a kid. I mean, I thought that was me. 100% wasn't at all. And so much of my insecurity, so much of my anxiety, so much of my self-loathing and self-hate came from that persona. Mine was actually extremely conservative compared to most girls nowadays, just FYI. I was considered the goody-goody of the bunch no matter what. But at the same time, it did affect my psyche because it was fake, and it also prevented me from allowing myself to partake in things that I do actually enjoy. And so the first step was getting rid of those friends, honestly. So the second type of friend when you get a chronic illness is the scared friend. Now, what do I mean by the scared friend? Well, the second type is the next ones that will actually leave. They don't leave as fast as the fake friend. Now, they leave for a couple different reasons, though. They leave because of fear. Fear of death. They might have issues with being able to handle death. They might have extreme anxiety or PTSD. You don't know what happened in these people's lives, but if it reminds them of something they've gone through, they just might not be able to handle being around you. And unfortunately, it's not because they dislike you. It's not because they hate you. It might just trigger in them really hard to handle memories. Another reason other than that is because they might actually care about you too much. Now, this is the case with a lot of family members. When they see you declining, when they see you having the worst time, they get scared. They care about you, they love you, and they don't know how to handle it. And so they will back off to protect, again, themselves, because they don't know what to do. They don't know how to help. They're scared for you, and they just can't watch you deteriorate. And really, they would help if they knew what to do. This is one of those cases where if you have a feeling that that is the case, that they are just so scared for you, then this is the perfect opportunity to do what I said to do in the past, which is tell them what to do. Like, say, hey, it would really help me if you could come help me clean out the fridge, mop the floor, do the laundry. It hurts me so much, I can't do it. If it's your family, hey, can you come over and wash my hair? Giving them something to do that helps. They won't just offer it. I mean, it's weird in a way that it seems rude to offer to do these things, because you don't want to think they're worse than they are by offering to do some of these. But if you say, hey, it would really help if you went and picked up my groceries, they'll probably do it. They want to help. And that's one of the reasons they're gone. They don't know how. So the more you're willing to ask, the more they will do, and it will help them know how to be around you. Now, this can kind of turn into the whole master-slave kind of feeling. So always be very thankful, always be very gracious, don't be demanding, don't be rude, and don't expect anything. They're not your servant, they're helping. Be careful of that, because you can very easily turn that around into a bad thing. Although I don't think most of you would do that. I think that's more of the spoiled kids would accidentally do that. I don't really think anyone does that on purpose. But just be careful. These people with a lot of fear about you can actually get really frustrated and make things worse too. Their anxiety will start getting pushed onto you, and there's a point where their fear will make them frustrated, and they might start blaming you for being sick or saying it's in your head because they don't want to believe you're sick and they don't want to believe you're actually that bad, and they might push that onto you and say that it's all in your head or you can do more. It's because they want you to do more. So that can actually be very unhealthy. But if you aren't around that, if you stay away from that, it shouldn't be an issue. And if you can guide them in ways to help, it might actually push that anxiety further back, and then they know exactly how to help you and they can see it helping you, and they might be less likely to do things like that and say things like that. So it's a little trickier, but overall it's a good thing to know this is that type of person and then deal with it in these ways. Now, the last type of friend is what I call the real friend. And these were the people that, honestly, for me, it was a lot of the least expected people. People I thought were just acquaintances or not super close. And they're the ones that stuck around. Even the one that I was probably closest to, we didn't hang around nonstop. And at the time, she had actually moved out of the state. But again, she was out of the state. I didn't expect that much from her. And surprise, her, these acquaintances, these people that I barely talk to, were the ones that still check on me and still stick around. And they understand they can only see me once a year. And otherwise, I'm just going to be talking to them over Messenger or Twitter or Facebook. And that's it. Like, they're not going to get that much out of me unless they come to me. They understand this and they're cool with that. And they're very respectful of my energy. When they do make plans with me, they completely are like, what can you do? How can we compromise on this? What are you able to do that won't hurt you? And then half the time they're like, okay, I can tell you're getting tired. We should be done now. Because I get a little zony when I get tired. And they're the ones that'll stop it. They're the ones that will offer to help and actually mean it, not just be saying it to be nice like some people do and not actually follow through in any way. These people are your true friends. Usually they're the friends that they like you better once you start finding who you really are and embracing that. You know, I originally had everyone was my friend and I had a really close, big group of friends. Now I have 4. But those 4 are worth more than all the gold in the world. I mean, they're worth more than all the friends I had before that because their friendship is true value. I mean, they really care. They really try. They really will cooperate with my needs. They're the ones that are worth calling friends, to be honest. And, you know, they're amazing. They stayed and they just conformed to what I could do. And that shows up in different ways based on the person, based on what they're able to do. And this, I think, is the cincher proving that it was worth it to lose all those other friends. All those other friends were keeping me from actually being happy, from actually finding who I was, from actually finding what I enjoyed in life and being the person that I like being 24/7. If I hadn't lost those people, I would still be on that path. And that is not a good path to be on. So in some ways, getting a chronic illness really helped me in life. I don't think I would change it. I wish I could have not made a lot of the mistakes I did to get as bad as I have. But I really don't think I regret getting it because getting rid of a lot of those people is a major, major factor in who I've become today. Now I go into how to find out if friends are toxic or mentally healthy a little bit more in this video here, where I give these signs of whether someone is mentally healthy or toxic to you. And I think you should watch that one because that is very important to really distinguishing between the two. Well, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you watching the whole thing. The algorithm loves that. And keep on surviving.